Hi, folks. I'm here at SES Energy Depot.
Depot it is,
It's
yeah.
Depot it is, isn't it? With
Yeah,
Jerry Sprecher. Did I say that correct?
absolutely.
Absolutely correct. Now, this is what I like. The first question I guess I like to ask you is welcome
Thank
to
you.
Young at Heart. And the first question I like to ask is, what is solar energy?
Oh, you know, Al, that's a great question because people will come in and say, oh, I know about solar, but actually you can slice it different ways. One of the main ways to slice it is that you have solar thermal, which just takes the energy from the sun and heats hot water. That's not what we do. We don't heat swimming pools. We generate electricity. Our goal is to reduce or net zero your electric bill so that if you use solar energy, you don't have to pay the utility for your service. You have to pay a connection fee, you always have to pay that, but not for the usage.
Not for the usage.
Exactly.
Well, now, can you explain how solar energy works? How does that work?
Okay, great. There's two ways to look at working. One is how does it work from a business legal point of view, and then the other is technically. So let me talk first about the business legal point of view. There was the Energy Act in 2005, Federal Energy Act, and what it said was that utilities had to allow you to do net metering. They had to allow individuals to overgenerate at some point in, like when you're not using a lot of electricity, to overgenerate electricity and to put it into a electricity bank with the utility. And then when they're needing a lot of electricity in the summer, they can take it out of that utility bank. So that's how it works from a business point of view, and that's mandated that utilities have to do that. Now from a technical point of view, it's pretty much magic. It's photovoltaic. It's basically, it takes the photons, the energy from the sun. It's just like if you're standing out and you're getting a sunburn, this thing will work. And it excites the electrons that are in this polycrystalline substance. And what it does then is all the electrons try to run out of that and hide somewhere. And when they're running, that's an electron flow. And basically, that's what we call electricity, is a flow of electrons. So that's how it works from a panel point of view. But when we install it, it is a whole system that converts the direct current electricity off the panel to the alternating current like you plug into the house with a few other bits along the way.
Now, how does this work on a house in regards to how many panels will be needed? And I would imagine that you would have to come and check the house to see what the footage of the house is, I should
Well,
say.
you know, that's another really great question because many people say, well, here's the size of the house that I have, and so basically, what size system do I need? The house is somewhat related to it, but it's really what's the size of your electric bill? Because you could live in a large house and run around in the summer being a very warm person, and your electric bill would be low. So we look at what the electric bill is, and basically the size of the system is sized to the amount of electricity you're using. You can eliminate net zero all of your usage, or you can just do partial elimination of it. And we'll design the system to fit the budget of the customer.
Well, what about summer versus winter in regards to air conditioning, in regards to heat in the wintertime? Is there something here that has to be discussed?
Well, you know, it's basically, if you look at your electric bill, it's pretty much a big spike in the summer. Some people are different than that, but mostly it's a big spike in the summer. So we design a system to overgenerate. If you're using this much, we generate this much. And we go along with this much savings until we hit the summer. And it spikes up like that. Well, at that point in time, all of those incremental savings we take back out of the utility kilowatt bank and use them in the peak period. So at the end of the year, it will net out very close to zero. We call it net zero.
Well, during the summertime, here's what I'd like to know, and I know the panels are on the roof of the house. Then what happens? How is that energy stored when it's not in use, let's say?
Okay, good question. But what's really implicit in that question is what many people think, is that the panels are on the roof. And they can be. That's the traditional way to do it. But one of the great things about an area like Pahrump is that typically people will have larger areas, larger lots. And so basically we have a portable energy trailer system. It's called PETS, P-E-T-S. And basically how that works is we can actually bring it up to the house. It can stay on the trailer or it can be ground mounted. And most people stay in a house, what, 5 years maybe 10 years? These systems last 25 years or more. And so when you move, it can move with you. Or if your next move is like maybe what mine's going to be to the assisted living center, I don't know, you can then sell it. And there will be a second-hand market for this, just like there is in a car market. And I'm sorry, let me add one other thing that's very, very important about this pets concept. What's nice about it is when it's on the trailer, it can be titled separately, like an RV is. So it opens up all kind of possibilities for financing, like financing an RV. Otherwise, if you put something on the roof with one nail, it becomes real property. And so the lender is way behind the first mortgage, second mortgage, third mortgage, and most people are reluctant to lend on that.
That's what I was wondering about, because most of these panels I've seen on roofs, of homes.
Right.
And I'm saying, well, with this new concept of moving this, I think that's good. That's a very good idea. And cost-wise, versus a roof versus a portable unit, is there any difference, that much difference in there?
The cost tends to be roughly the same. If you have the pets on a trailer, you have the cost of the trailer. If you have the pets, you take off the trailer and do a ground install, you have the installation in the ground. If you have the panels themselves on the roof, they tend to be, you have to put the racking systems and whatnot on the roof. So all in all, it's a bit cheaper to go with the pets unit, but it's not the biggest concern in terms of the cost of the system.
The only reason I was thinking about that, I was thinking about the wear and tear if they were on the roof in regards to, the sun, especially out here in Pahrump, because, the radiation, I should say, the sun, really beats down on you, and it's really maybe wear those panels out faster.
The panels don't tend to wear out. There's no moving parts in them, etc. But basically what will happen is if you're on the roof and there's a small space between this hot roof and where, sorry about the phone ringing there, there's a small space between the roof and the panels.
Right.
You can get a lot of thermal buildup in there. And so basically what happens is it can impair the effectiveness during that period of time.
Well, now, as far as cost is concerned, that would depend on how large the location or the
Exactly.
house is. Yeah.
And it's really interesting because the larger the system you need, it means the larger the electricity bill that you're eliminating. So it's all proportional. If you're spending $100 on your electric bill, you need a much smaller system than if you're spending $400. On the other hand, you're saving that $400 or that $100. And so basically it kind of works out in the end.
Yeah. Well, as far as cost is concerned, can we have maybe a ballpark figure, or would you have to figure out electric use and those kinds of things first before you could give an idea about cost?
No, we can talk generally about it. Basically, in Nevada, it's a bit different than it is in some other states. Unfortunately, the utilities here aren't giving a rebate currently, which helps a lot when that happens. But where the costs are, if you subtract the 30% that you get on a tax incentive back from the federal government, 30% of what you spend on the system, you get back in terms of tax rebates. So if you subtract that, you're talking about something, that's less than, $5 a watt.
Wow.
Less than $5 a watt to put that in. And so it depends then on how many watts that you're talking about. A basic system, you're talking about as low as $17,000 minus the 30. You could be in the low teens. It could go up to the 60, 70,000,
Wow.
depending on the size of your electric bill.
Ooh, that's fantastic. Now, you are SES Energy Depot.
Correct.
And that you're out here in Pahrump. You're 1990 South Highway 160.
That's correct.
And that's in Pahrump. And you have a telephone number here, I understand, of 775. I used to be a dispatcher, that's why I talk like that. Police dispatcher. 775-636-7853. That's 775-636-7853. And you can contact S&S Energy Depot at that address there. And also understand that you're on the internet.
We are on the internet, and the easy way to find us, our slogan is SES says yes to saving costs with solar. So you can look on the internet under sessays.yes.com.
Oh, I like that.
And that will take you to, there's related websites to that.
Right.
So that's probably the easiest way to remember to find us.
Oh, okay, I'll do that. Well, listen, I want to thank you for
Oh,
coming in.
pleasure
and
meeting you,
joining.
buddy.
Likewise.
Pleasure meeting you. Yeah.
All right. Take care, folks. Stay tuned. We will return after these messages.
Thank you very much.